A boy once stood in a canyon, whispering the same word over and over. At first, the echo was faint. Then it grew louder, until the whole valley shouted back what he had begun in silence. He didn't realize the voice he heard was his own, returning to him with power. Have you ever wondered why certain patterns keep repeating in your life, even when you try to think differently? What if it's not the loud thoughts, but the quiet, repeated ones that shape your world? In this video, you'll discover how reality forms through the unseen rhythm of your inner voice, the thoughts you echo without speaking. I'll show you how repetition becomes vibration and how vibration becomes form. This isn't about trying harder. It's about becoming more aware of what's already speaking through you. And once you hear it, you can begin to change it. A whisper in a canyon does not vanish. It lingers, returns, and expands. Your thoughts do the same. They ripple through the unseen, leaving trails not just in your mind, but in the field around you. What you think, repeatedly, is never lost. It becomes your world's raw material. Each thought, when sustained, presses itself into the quantum substance. Not once, but through rhythm, through quiet, consistent impression. This is not mental chatter, this is creative command. Even what you casually repeat in frustration, doubt, or lack, it is heard, it is remembered. This is the foundation of silent manifestation. You are not shouting to be heard, you are vibrating to be received. The field listens not to intensity, but to consistency. You may forget what you've thought, but reality does not. What you repeat becomes a seed, and the field becomes the echo chamber. So pause now. What have you been echoing without awareness? Can you feel the trail of your own thoughts? The answer is not far. It is forming the very floor beneath your feet. And once you understand that truth, you begin to reclaim what follows. A single drumbeat may go unnoticed, but a rhythm repeated stirs the body into movement. Emotion behaves the same. When felt once, it flickers. When felt again and again, it imprints. This is not about feeling deeply for a moment. It's about the resonance you carry through time. You see, every time you return to the same feeling, joy or fear, peace or frustration, you amplify its signal. It begins to harmonize with your thoughts, with your energy. This union sends a clear message into the quantum. Emotion is the music, thought is the lyric. Together, they form a vibration frequency. This is why the universe doesn't answer what you want. It answers what you repeat emotionally. Whether you're aware of it or not, your dominant emotional tone becomes your broadcast. Repetition isn't just mental, it's energetic. This is the emotional echo that shapes your return. So what emotional songs are you playing on loop? Begin to notice. The feelings you revisit become the field's instruction. And once you become aware of that rhythm, you'll understand what must shift next. A man may smile in silence, but inside he mutters doubt. That voice, the one no one hears but him, is the voice that shapes his life. It's not what you speak aloud that creates. It's the phrases you repeat when you're alone with yourself. That is the true frequency. Your inner dialogue is a transmitter. Whether loving or harsh, faithful or fearful, it broadcasts. You are always instructing the field through your self-talk, not in moments of meditation alone, but in the casual hours, the quiet reactions. This is mental repetition, and it holds more weight than your spoken words. This is the secret of energetic alignment. You cannot affirm one thing aloud while quietly denying it within. The field responds to the dominant signal, and that is almost always internal. The way you speak to yourself when nothing seems to be working is your truest script. So become intimate with your inner tone. Is it gentle, is it faithful, or is it woven with worry and self-doubt? For once you hear your own broadcast clearly, the field will begin to change in kind. A stage actor becomes their character not through a single reading, but through endless rehearsals. Likewise, the universe responds not to your passing moods, but to the emotional roles you've practiced most. You are living inside your longest-held tone. Life simply reflects your rehearsal. We often wonder why old patterns persist. But look closer. What state do you slip into when nothing demands your attention? That's your baseline. And that baseline is powerful. It carries the echo of your most repeated feelings, thoughts, assumptions. It is not a punishment. It is a reflection. This is how vibration frequency builds, not in bursts, but in returns. What you rehearse internally becomes magnetic externally. This is not about forcing yourself into positivity. It's about noticing which states have become habitual and lovingly rehearsing new ones. So ask yourself, what state have I made most familiar? What mood have I memorized? Because once you become aware of your most rehearsed identity, you begin to see what the mirror has truly been reflecting. A small sound in a canyon grows as it bounces. What begins as a whisper becomes a thunder. Thoughts work the same. What you repeat without reflection doesn't fade. It gathers. It returns with weight, form, and force. This is the silent law of momentum. Unchecked thought patterns don't remain subtle. They amplify. The worry you entertained lightly yesterday becomes the anxiety you wake up with tomorrow. The fear you never addressed becomes a pattern, a habit, a result. Repetition without awareness becomes a structure, a life built in echo. This is why mental repetition matters, not just for what you desire, but for what you unconsciously sustain. The universe does not interpret, it reflects. It does not edit, it amplifies. Every unchallenged loop grows more real, more visible, more magnetic. What you repeat, you give permission to. So ask yourself, what have I allowed to echo? What thoughts have gone unchallenged long enough to become my truth? For once you notice the volume, you'll know exactly what silence is for. A bell will stop ringing not when it's struck again, but when it's left alone. So it is with thought. Repetition creates reality, but silence interrupts the loop. In stillness, the old echo fades, and a new vibration has space to emerge. You cannot overwrite a pattern from the same frequency that created it. But silence. Silence lifts you out. It's not emptiness, it's reset. When you stop feeding the mental rhythm, the field recalibrates. In that pause, you regain authorship. That is the power of silent manifestation. Stillness is not a break from creating. It is where true creation begins. You are not escaping reality. You are stepping behind the scenes. The moment you fall quiet, the noise dissolves. The mental fog clears. The field listens anew, without residue. So next time the echo gets loud, don't answer back. Breathe. Withdraw your attention. Let silence speak for you, because in that space, your next command begins to form. A gardener doesn't plant every seed, only the one they want to grow. So it must be with your inner voice. Choose your phrase wisely. Repeat it not as noise, but as nourishment. Each word carries a vibration, a seed of reality in your own soil. What you repeat to yourself shapes your energy more than any external teaching. A phrase like, "I am safe," when emotionally charged, becomes a frequency. It's not just mental, it's emotional echo. It builds atmosphere, alignment, expectancy. The more you feel it, the more you broadcast it. These are not empty affirmations, they are quiet spells. Mantras that dissolve old identity and install new states. The key is not length, it's feeling. A single phrase spoken in stillness and belief reshapes the pattern. The echo chamber amplifies whatever you rehearse with sincerity. So choose. What will your new phrase be? Whisper it until it becomes the background of your breath. And once it lives in you without effort, the field begins to arrange its form around your tone. A river flows faster when the banks are aligned. No resistance, no confusion. Your reality responds in the same way. When who you are matches what you desire, the echo returns swiftly. Identity is the bridge. Intention is only the beginning. You cannot create from what you want while being someone who doubts. The field responds not just to your dream, but to your embodiment of it. When your beliefs, behaviors, and being move in harmony, manifestation speeds up. This is energetic alignment in its purest form. Change does not begin with action, it begins with self-concept. Ask not only what you want, Ask who you would be if it were already yours. That is the vibrational signature the field recognizes. That is the signal that cannot be denied or delayed. So step into that version. Live from it. Speak from it. Breathe from it. Because once your identity holds the same note as your desire, the echo can no longer resist returning to its source. A singer steps off stage, but her voice lingers in the hall. So it is with your words, and even more so with your unspoken ones. Your life is not reacting to chance. It is responding to your most repeated signal, whether heard or silent. Every moment you are creating echoes, through thought, through feeling, through identity. What you whisper inside, the world reflects outside, not as punishment, but as pattern. Your experience is the accumulation of vibrations you've rehearsed, phrases you've believed, tones you've normalized. This is the essence of vibration frequency. Life does not answer your best effort. It answers your most consistent broadcast. Whether silent or spoken, what you affirm with feeling becomes your environment. The field does not sleep. It only returns what it receives. So pause, not in guilt, in awareness. Feel the truth rise within. I am the cause. I hold the tuning fork. And the moment you know that, a new echo begins to build. So, what have you been repeating without realizing? What silent phrase has been shaping your days, your emotions, your results? Now that you know, you can begin to choose. Not forcefully, but gently. Like tuning an instrument, you adjust the tone and life responds. Let me know in the comments, what phrase will you begin repeating now? Not just aloud, but with feeling. And if you're ready to deepen your journey, like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Your new echo begins here.